Thank you so much, Eric. Hacker Halted. It's so good to be back here again. And I do hope that firstly, you and your families are all well. We are going through so much, and life has suddenly become so much more challenging for all of us. In these difficult times, even when hugs and kisses are weaponized, we must either adapt or perish. As you know, due to the pandemic, many events are either cancelled, postponed, or have gone online. Here at Hacker Halted, we remain undeterred by the difficulties and challenges because we know that these are precisely the times when the world needs security the most. And we are so happy that you agree with us because you showed up. You and over 30,000 more have decided that it is in a strange and unprecedented times like this that we need to raise the ante and adapt in a world that has suddenly accelerated its need for digital adoption and services like never before. We all know the famous saying that in life you have three choices. You give up, you give in, or you give it all you've got. And in this respect, this year's Hacker Halted is absolutely special. It is packed with a full week of some of the best speakers Hacker Halted has ever brought to the stage, as well as Hacker Jeopardy and cyber competitions all pulled together in a single platform that allows you, the attendees, to network with each other, as well as with the speakers and with vendors, which we know is why you go to conferences in the first place. The platform also allows you, the attendee, to customize your own agenda so you don't miss a single talk. We are able to do this completely online. I would like to kick things off to address one of the biggest perpetual challenges faced by cybersecurity leaders all across the world. A problem that has persisted for decades and is indeed becoming more urgent and more critical in these times. We've all heard cybersecurity statistics. Cybercrime is on the rise. Attacks are getting more sophisticated. The cost of an average breach continues to climb, and projections for future seem to be getting worse every time the statistics are presented. Countless speeches, reports, podcasts, news articles are just so many ways of saying the exact same thing. The message is clear. We are in a pandemic, folks. A cyber pandemic. We're not here to talk about the problem. Let's face it, it's all around us. This is not a new message to the cyber community. What's new is the immensity of the attack. What's new is who the next victim of this attack would be, and what could be the new future that we will face if we refuse to transform the foundations of our response to the cyber pandemic. And I'm here to talk to you of a solution. There are many brave, intelligent, and tenacious men and women who keep our cyber defenses secure. But the fact of the matter is, they are absolutely overwhelmed. One possible reason being that here's a war that we are fighting with an underwhelming number of soldiers. A recent report by CSIS states that no less than 82% of employers reported a shortage of cybersecurity skills in their workforce. Can you believe that? 82%. That's a huge number. What makes this worse is 71% of them believe that this talent gap causes direct and measurable damage to their organization. One of the main challenges the industry faces is that our present training mechanisms needs a major boost to deal with the ever-escalating set of challenges the cybersecurity community faces. That fact is elucidated by the fact that 77% of organizations surveyed believe that the current education programs that they have in their enterprises are not fully preparing students to enter the cybersecurity industry. 77%. The next and the most important question, obviously, for us is how are we as a community building this capability? As traditional training methodologies go, we have cybersecurity degrees and certifications to fall back on, and they are absolutely great. There are also several conferences, like Hacker Halted, where people get to connect with industry greats and learn, exchange ideas, understand the state of current challenges. Of late, a new buzzword in cybersecurity capability building has come about: gamification. Gamification is another way for us to learn cyber skills. Also, for the ones that prefer an adrenaline rush in a competitive environment, there are several competitions around the world, such as the Global Cyber Olympics, which provides a great opportunity to test a person's cyber skill. Frankly, our present system works. You can learn by yourself, you can connect with your peers, you can learn skills in a gamified environment or compete at different levels. But the question is, how much has it improved the situation? How much has it improved our situation? Are we better prepared to deal with cybersecurity challenges that we were before the ones that we are going to be facing in the coming future? Has the frequency or the intensity of cyber attacks been brought under control? Are we at least training more skillful candidates for our positions? If we were to follow the major studies in the domain, in the last year alone, around 73% of organizations have not trained their cybersecurity teams. Sounds ironic, doesn't it? 73% of cyber teams are not being trained. On one hand, there's a gigantic challenge facing the entire community. On the other hand, 73% of organizations don't train enough candidates to fight back. These decisions were made with a backdrop of data that suggests that no less than 150,000 total valid vulnerabilities were submitted in 2019 alone, and over 383,000 cybercrimes reported to the US Internet Crime Complaint Center in 2019. In fact, 3 of the most common vulnerabilities that were exploited ended up impacting 45% of organizations globally. And this is just the data that is reported. Can you imagine what lies beyond the tip of the iceberg? What new vulnerabilities or attacks have been swept under the rug, or worse yet, are yet to be discovered? Ladies and gentlemen, cyber criminals hack us every 39 seconds. And with more complex technologies like IoT, blockchain, AI, machine learning, and many others becoming the way of life for us beyond 2020, these problems would be too. 20,000 plus. I repeat, over 20,000 new vulnerabilities are predicted for 2020 alone. And this raises the question: why don't enterprises train cyber forces consistently? The reasons are simple. The cybersecurity professional today is overworked. Think about it. Aren't you overworked? Was it easy for you to be here at Hacker Halted 5 days in a row listening to these amazing speakers that we're going to be presenting to you? No, it was not easy. Some are simply too busy to invest their time repeatedly and often cannot take a week off from work to attend certification programs. Taking 5 days off is a lot to ask. Another key reason is obviously cost constraints. Organizations can't always afford to continuously train their cybersecurity workforce, especially in a time like the COVID pandemic. Cyber professionals are not receiving sound guidance to take the right steps towards upskilling themselves. Many cyber professionals believe that they would learn these skills by themselves or on the job, and therefore don't realize or possibly value the need for a professional development. Ladies and gentlemen, let me assure you that I'm not here to judge organizational priorities. I'm simply stating the fact that the imbalance in the spread of cybersecurity challenges versus how we build capability to fight them just do not match. Speaking of capability to fight, let's look at how various military organizations across the world do it. While the finer nuances may differ, most military bodies across the world first recruit their troops at an entry-level soldiers. Let's take an infantryman as an example here. Infantry training starts with an individual with little or no skill. Through training and assessment, a green civilian becomes ready to join the combat infantry unit. Should this individual wish to join the elite corps or special forces, they must undergo a series of grueling physical and mental fitness challenges. Even if selected, they must continue to train and hone their individual skills before joining an elite combat unit or the team. And still, the training and practice does not stop there. As a team member, they must train to perform at their best as a member of a team working to achieve a common goal. If we try to draw the same analogy with how cybersecurity training happens, allow me to use EC Council's new vulnerability assessment and penetration testing track to make this explanation easier. When a candidate attends a Certified Network Defender and or the CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker, they essentially become a soldier in the cyber battlefield. But they're not primed to be special forces yet. It's only with a specialized pen testing program with a rigorous program like EC Council's Certified Pen Tester certification like CPENT that a cyber professional or a CEH would become a member of a special forces or equivalent. But staying true to the military analogy, there are not many further challenges that are posed to such pen testing specialists with the intent to train them. Most of the challenges they face are on the job itself. But that's a huge risk because a mistake there could cause millions of dollars of damage to an organization. There's an old military adage which says, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. While all military organizations across the world swear by this, there is no parallel that can be drawn in a cybersecurity training space. Once an individual has attained their baseline certifications, there is no mechanism available to train and to hone their tradecraft over the following years to establish elite status in a professional, continuous environment. Further development is more often than not left to trial and error or on-the-job training. While building a cyber professional's learning journey, the first step is to provide the right knowledge. Knowledge is very important, folks. Next comes a stage where they need to apply the knowledge through skills, practice in a cyber range as part of their training. This is why the CH Practical was created. Finally, the individual is assessed. However, in the best cyber teams, the progression of knowledge, practice and assessment is repeated when they are learning to perform as a team. Teamwork is critical. To optimize their efforts as a group, they have to be subjected to specialized training to understand their individual value and complementing the collective skill of the entire team. This is how a successful cybersecurity department would work, as one single team. In my conversations with various CISOs and CSOs from across the world, I've been fortunate to be connected with so many of them. All of them tend to rate a team player as one of the most important soft skills in a professional. The sentiment being, it doesn't matter how good you are individually, it matters what you bring to the team. The entire process is aimed at fulfilling the mission of protecting an organization's assets. However, like many great plans, this mechanism would only work if the organization adopts a core strategy and rigorously trains to it. The point I'm making is clear. We need a better solution which has more focus on a capabilities model, much like those used by the military. A laser-sharp focus to solve cybersecurity skill gap challenge that attacks the problem at their very core and builds a system of continuous immersive learning is critical. It's not like this has not been tried before. There are several cyber ranges that offer immersive learning and gamified experiences, each claiming to be better than the other in one way or another. And while these are fantastic efforts for the community, they still haven't been able to solve the cybersecurity skill building challenge. Every military around the world, for example, uses ranges to familiarize their personnel with weapon systems that are new to them, provide a controlled environment to practice the weapon system, assess personnel in their proficiency, facilitate team training, and create a scale replicas of mission-specific targets for mission rehearsal. It's just like the movies. But is that how other organizations use their cyber ranges as well? Think about it. The answer is a resounding no. The reason why that is many of these cyber ranges are flawed. Flawed in their approach and the user experience they bring to the organizations. Due to complexities, some are even flawed in their technical implementation. Cyber ranges have historically been exclusive to the military and large enterprise businesses that could afford $250,000 or $500,000 technical solution for cyber exercises and simulations alone. This is reflected in the complexity with which a customized cyber range is implemented for an organization. Oh, along with that, if I fail to mention, it is incredibly expensive to hire specialized consultants to set up or manage the systems. This, coupled with how complex the systems have been to implement in the first place, become a major deterrent in the scalability and customization beyond what was originally conceived at the time of development. I mean, think about it. Does your organization have a cyber range? Do you have a team that is able to customize a cyber range? Do you have people that are using that on a daily basis to sharpen their skill? The answer is resounding no. Many of these ranges provide no ability to load your own targets, your own VMs or custom tools. Even the competitions held inside these ranges are one-sided, focusing solely on attack, attack, attack. They offer little or no defensive practice or blue teaming, leading to competitions that are only about attack, but not the most critical component, defense. Another major flaw to provide no options for a user to design custom courses, challenges, or competitions inside these ranges. At the foundation of the cyber ranges, though, lies the problem. They have not been built with the intent of continuous learning. If we don't have a system focused on continuous learning, how is it possible for us to train our cyber professionals once the scope of a certain cyber range becomes irrelevant or obsolete? How would we train our special forces operatives to be an A team, the elite force? Fact of the matter is, folks, for 15 years, educators have all strived to attain cybersecurity knowledge in the same exact way. But not all cybersecurity education is created equal. As cloud and hands-on virtual environments have evolved, cyber skill development and mastery have lagged. Yet another challenge with the current cyber ranges is their reporting is inaccurate. Many of these will score you with points. But the problem lies with the basis of these points. Points alone simply don't measure skill effectively over time and do not provide the individual or the organization with a meaningful feedback on their skill level, strength, or weaknesses. The assigned scoring matrix are based on a training system's predefined levels. In other words, traditional scoring is inflexible and arbitrary. Let me take an example here. Scoring in sports is completely arbitrary and bears no relationship to the difficulty level of the task, especially when compared to across sports. Why is a rugby try worth 5 points, a US football touchdown worth 6, a basketball basket worth 2, but also sometimes 3 or 1? Let's not talk about tennis scoring. The point systems in sports are completely arbitrary and are either bounded by time, play until time runs out, or a certain goal is obtained. Pool, golf, volleyball. Points tell one story: who won and who lost. Points are a meaningful metric in determining how someone wins or loses. Find your favorite sports website and you will see that points are on a single page. But then take a look at all the metrics that are maintained. That data pool is a rich source of figuring out who is the best player and which are the best teams. For example, take a look at the NYC Marathon, the New York City Marathon, or the Everest Marathon. They are both 26.2 miles races. However, one is at the sea level and the other starts at 17,900 feet and ends at 11,286 feet. Try running at that altitude. While they both are marathons, they're not the same race. The same problem plagues cybersecurity labs and rangers. The existing marketplace is flooded with solutions that focus on arbitrary points, difficulty ratings, and timing. This lack of meaningful matrix scoring and difficulty ratings in the marketplace prevents you from knowing if you or your team is adequately prepared. Winning the New York City Marathon does not mean that you're ready to tackle the Everest Marathon. So let's try to solve this challenge, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try to figure out how an ideal system should operate. How do we design an ideal system? What features should it bring to the table? And how should it help us solve cybersecurity skill gap challenge? While I talk of learning, let me ask you a question. What is the first learning environment most of us were exposed to? The playground. Remember how on the playground everything was possible? We could be superheroes, professional athletes, rock stars. We were only limited by our imagination. Remember how we learned so many games, sports, and values on these playgrounds? Simply because we did it for fun. Learning without fear or judgment. We were all there to have fun, right? In the process, we learned an important lesson in life, and it shaped our personalities to a certain extent. All of this was possible because we were not afraid to fail. The playground was our safe space. It's not just me, but world-renowned psychologists have concluded playing is the human brain's favorite way of learning, because when you play, you are happy. And with happiness, we learn in a stress-free environment which is meant for us to grow. But playing alone is not enough. You must play in a safe environment which has the right scoring matrix and even better reporting capabilities so you can constantly improve. I mean, just think about it. Let's assume there were two individuals. Both were provided with a goal of shooting down a target. One used a machine gun and shot 10 people along the line and shot the target down, and the other used a sniper rifle. They both brought the target down, but the person with the machine gun brought the target down sooner than the one with the sniper. Who is the better player? Do you have this matrix? In the cybersecurity training context, such a playground should be scalable to suit our organizational requirements. It shouldn't burn a hole in our pockets while it does that, and it must be easy to implement. It must allow for accurate reporting to the management so they are able to gauge the impact of learning against a clear, defined scoring system. An ideal system for learning should allow you to hone your skills in any direction you want. It's like one of my favorite childhood idols, Bruce Lee, said, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." Your ideal range should allow you to practice any kick you want, any number of times, because we should fear those who have practiced 10,000 different kicks 10,000 different times. Your ideal system should merge learning with fun and allow you to become the best version of yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you an ideal system for cybersecurity learning. EC Council presents to you EC Council's latest innovation, CyberQ, which is an acronym for Cyber Quotient. With CyberQ, you can learn, train, compete, and assess yourself and your teams, because this is a safe space for you to train. Simply put, CyberQ is a perfect blend of cloud technology, learning science, and big data analytics, speaking especially in a construction to provide a platform that completely automates cyber range capabilities and actionable intelligence based on a person's interaction with the platform. CyberQ is a cloud-based, web-based service that completely automates the process of using advanced cloud technology to deploy cyber targets, from single boxes to full complex enterprise networks, to individuals and teams for cyber learning, cyber practice, and even cyber assessment. CyberQ was specifically designed to focus on skill development over time. And with CyberQ, an individual can start with the fundamental building block of a cyber operator and develop skills in nearly any professional path, from vulnerability analysis, forensics to leadership, coding, exploitation, penetration testing, and much more. CyberQ has a wide variety of highly customized use cases for individual students, cyber professionals, educators, as well as employers and even government and military. CyberQ is an on-demand platform with a huge infrastructure and advanced capabilities inbuilt. Our out-of-the-box solution provides more than 200 machines with over 400 pre-built challenges, and it will continue to grow every single month. Unlike other cyber rangers that restrict themselves to pure pen testing and ethical hacking challenges, EC Council's CyberQ also teaches hack and detect capabilities for digital forensics and investigation. It's limitless. Web application security challenges are all mapped to various frameworks to keep them relevant to the dynamic landscape. CyberQ also covers best practices like sharpening techniques like initial access, defense evasion, and even privilege escalation. On top of this, the platform is highly customizable across modules and evolves rapidly along with cybersecurity industry development. CyberQ platform is a system of systems. I repeat, the CyberQ platform is a system of systems designed to take care of the most complex tasks of creating a target environment, assigning measurable flags, and collecting meaningful analytics as you interact with the system to help you ascertain your true capability or areas of improvement and your raw talent. From complex network creation, complete cloud orchestration, full packet capture, IDS monitoring, and critical service checks, along with an intelligent flag system, CyberQ collects the key analytics and your capabilities at every single level of engagement. Each time you interact with CyberQ platform, it logs your activity, measuring through your benchmarking algorithms, how you measure up to those that came before you. Are you able to break in undetected? How much network traffic did you generate compared to others? Did you trip the IDS system? Were you able to keep critical services alive during an attack? Were you able to recover the systems from an attack, and how fast? What are the areas that need work and what skills still need to be developed? CyberQ is a carefully crafted system of systems designed to take the misery out of cybersecurity skill development. CyberQ is a platform of systems that include ranges, targets, metrics, marketplace, leaderboards, events, and even more, each having a subsystem of its own. These all act together to create a complete on-demand cyber skill development platform to enable users to take their training and assessment to the next level. With CyberQ, we have leveraged the best fully customized cloud options we could craft to incorporate software-defined networking, VM library deployment, cloud resource allocation, full packet capture, service checks, IDS monitoring, as well as a complete intelligent flagging system, all tied back to big data analytics platform that allows highly customizable reporting, visualization, leaderboards, and contributes data back into persistent player profiles across multiple challenges as they participate in different challenges. Best of all, the leveraging of the CyberQ platform, this can all be done at a fraction of the cost that an enterprise is probably used to paying. CyberQ as a technology platform completely automates the process of standing up cyber rangers, individuals and team exercises, as well as cyber competitions supporting capture the flag, force on force competitions, red versus blue, red only, as well as red and blue or purple competitions. We have designed the platform on the heels of nearly 80 years of collective experience in running cyber wargaming exercises from some of the most foremost experts in the world to ensure you can focus on knowledge and skill transfer as opposed to having to focus on technology that enables those. As an educator, a trainer, a mentor, your job is to guide and teach and not build cyber rangers. Leave that to CyberQ. CyberQ was designed with analytics and reporting in mind, as flags are created on targets. They are tagged and cataloged in our CyberQ Experience Designer to map those flags to critical jobs, job role requirements, as well as education content, providing extremely robust, actionable intelligence as your staff and customers engage in CyberQ experiences. Whether you are looking to build targets, target systems, a complete enterprise network, a digital city, a cyber battlefield, CTF competition, or a full force-on-force red versus blue cyber exercise, we've got you covered with CyberQ. Over the last 2 decades that I've spent in the cybersecurity industry, I've seen many incredible things, but I've always felt as though something was missing. Technology was available to us, simply did not bring the amazing classroom experience to the next level that we really wanted. Almost 2 years ago, EC Council set out to solve this problem once and for all. Armed with great system architects, teams experienced in cyber competitions and wargaming, teams of developers, database engineers, exercise designers, and a ton of investment, EC Council has customly designed a solution from ground up to fill this gap. CyberQ as a platform was designed with the entire cybersecurity supply chain in mind, from the individual to the team to the educator to the employer to the competitor and even the cybersecurity vendor. Let's look at a few use cases of this platform. CyberQ for Employers introduces a new robust platform-based suite of features that provide employers with a guide to assess, develop, and invest in their IT and cybersecurity staff. Empower your staff with a robust, fully autonomous skills platform. It doesn't matter which organization you are, your employees can run through a single target challenges, premium certification experiences, participate in cyber competitions, capture flag exercises, red versus blue events, and cyber drills hosted by your own SMEs. Imagine hosting your own corporation cyber Olympiad. Not a problem. With a studio account, you can even replicate your own infrastructure. Now, this is huge, guys. Imagine you're a large enterprise and you want your cybersecurity professionals to be able to train on your environment. With a studio account, you can even replicate your own infrastructure. You can bring in your own servers, you can bring in your own custom devices or firewalls, you can bring your own network topology and ensure the environment that you practice and train is a replica of the actual production environment. Train as you fight, fight as you train, as we say. Deploy real machines with real-life vulnerabilities. You are able to test, break, fix, patch, defense systems, system attacks, penetration testing. All of that is possible with CyberQ. All of that in a controlled environment. CyberQ is built not just as a cyber range, but also as a massive data analytics platform. As your staff engages in exercises, competitions, and scenarios, CyberQ collects a host of metrics around their interaction with the system. Beyond just points, we track traffic generated, attacks deployed, critical services, IDS alerts, and your employees are benchmarked with their performance against their peers and other industry professionals. Imagine having an affordable adaptive education technology that met each student individually at their current skill set. As an educator, you could adapt its challenge level and train a novice and challenge the expert alike on a single platform. Imagine having the power of a military-grade cyber range, fully licensed operating systems, and cyber tools right in the classroom. Better yet, available anywhere, anytime with just an internet connection. Your students can engage the CyberQ platform from anywhere with an internet connection, and the learning doesn't stop when the class is over. With the help of our cloud-based cyber lab system, we have customly designed a relationship database systems that maps courses, modules, tasks, as well as industry frameworks such as the niceness framework at an individual flag to a skill, knowledge, or ability level. As an educator, you can benchmark students' performances against each other students in a class or seasoned cyber professionals that have challenged the same content. You will get a true picture of your class and the level of deployment. Let CyberQ take the guesswork out of running a predictable cyber competition. Now, folks, this is a massive challenge, especially during COVID times, because we are unable to see each other face to face. So how are we going to write cyber competitions? How are we going to bring equipment and run capture the flag, or even a company-based Olympiad or national level competition? Our team has over 80 years of collective experience in running cyber wargaming exercises and events. So at EC Council, we paired up with them with a very capable deployment and development team that we built to have CyberQ host cyber competitions, from a simple capture the flag to complex force-on-force events from start to finish. CyberQ will be able to handle every element of the competition. Player invitation, check. Roster building, check. Team assignment, check. Team communications, check. We are even able to have a fully automated systems deployment for game day, coupled with analytics and feedback to provide actionable metrics to players. CyberQ Studio is ideal for cybersecurity vendors looking to develop advanced cyber range capabilities in-house without the headache of owning a range. CyberQ Studio provides vendors with the ability to instantly leverage the years of development EC Council has put into CyberQ and bypass the challenges and time requirement of acquiring building a local cyber range solution. Get right to delivering advanced cyber exercises within hours as opposed to weeks or months. You will receive the same development access as everyone else to build and configure their targets and experiences in the exact manner that you prefer. Our platform will handle everything from user management, VM snapshotting to storage, a fully orchestrated automated cloud environment accessible 24/7 through a modern browser or remotely through VPN. Our CyberQ team through EC Council has worked with over 1,000 educators across the globe to help build cyber programs, enhance curricula, incorporate industry certification into degree programs, all aimed at creating job-ready graduates and helping to solve the workforce pipeline challenge. Through these relationships, we have listened to challenges of some of the best cybersecurity faculty and thought leaders in the world. CyberQ was built with our education partners in mind. With our inspiration for these platforms being the military shooting ranges, we are proud to announce that the CyberQ platform has an immense use in military and government spheres as well. Based on a system of systems framework and equipped to handle an insane amount of complexity, CyberQ presents the ability to host an infinite number of challenges. Along with an advanced skill assessment module across team levels, you can replicate real-life scenarios to protect your mission-critical systems and host your own gamified hackathons. In summary, let it be an aspect from people, processes, or technology. CyberQ can be immensely helpful. Right from being a measure to hire the right talent, nurture a skill, running simulations to test various scenarios, or even evaluating a vendor for your security need, CyberQ's customization and immensity will always be helpful to an organization. Ladies and gentlemen, cyber criminals have waged war worth billions of dollars. Their constant onslaught of attacks are happening right now, and they're not slowing down. Cyber criminals and the organizations they work with and for are highly skilled, well-funded, and coordinated. We need a continuous learning and testing system to keep our cyber workforce on the top of their game. We need accurate reporting of their progress, and most of all, we need a safe space. We need a hacker's playground for them to practice. It has been my distinct honor to present CyberQ to this audience, and for a detailed demonstration of the capabilities and functionalities of CyberQ, I invite you to a global session led by Stephen Graham, Senior Vice President of EC Council, and Tim Rosenberg, Executive Director of Research and Development at EC Council on Tuesday, October 20th, 2020 at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please check your event agenda for attending this event. The world is still on fire. There's a cyber war going on as we speak right now. But hopefully with the tools like CyberQ and Cyber Aptitude, we won't be overwhelmed anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been my profound pleasure to be here with you. I thank all of you for spending this time with me. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bavisi, and this is Hacker Halted 2020.